heat wave. It is hot. You could fry an egg on a Brooklyn street today. As if 2020 needs to turn up even more. This summer was ranked as one of the top 10 hottest summers ever on record. I'm in the industrial section of Bushwick, here to pay a surprise visit to up-and-coming artist Dave Troy.
Bringing the party to your door, David Troy.
Thank you.
Yeah. How you doing? Let's get an elbow thing. Yeah, good.
Worst time to meet people, right?
Yeah, this is how we're meeting right here.
All right, so...
You got the wolf on your chest, you're ready.
Yeah, you want to come in?
Yes, absolutely.
How was everything?
This is good. It's been an exciting day, but I'm super excited to meet you, man.
So this is the studio where it goes all the way back down. People actually lived back there.
Whoa, okay. Come on, man. That's... Wow. This is a wonderland in here. David, talk to me about this wonderland. Is this like a bunch of years of work? Is this a current project?
I had a solo show that was due in late April. And of course it got canceled. So what you're seeing like in this area right here was a preparation for it.
But what is supposed to be the unifying theme of this particular April show?
That's funny because the unifying is inconsistency.
Yes.
There really isn't a one theme.
This is like pure imagination station. I like the idea of talking to you while these guys are looking at me. And it feels like, it's like if you could drink a Slurpee, but then like look at it. You know what I mean?
These are the things that I've been working on during the pandemic.
Oh, I'm super interested in that.
I've been doing this, which is I've been trying to put these little matchsticks. I don't know if you guys can get that.
Those are gorgeous. Yeah, the colors are beautiful.
I sanded down. And I really got into like pieces like this. And then this one I just recently started playing with because I rarely like use paint. I don't paint my sculptures, but I don't know, the pandemic can make you do weird things. I started doing this and playing with it and I just loved it. I just love having a good time with paint.
It's like the Thinker, but like the Thinker made of Fruity Pebbles.
Exactly. You know, a good friend of mine, I was in a band with him, so he had cancer. They had to shoot him with radiation, so in that process, you have to get this thing made for you that shapes like your face, and they lock you down, so you can't move an inch. It has to be very precise. So after he got this done, they were just gonna give it to him, and he just offered it to me knowing that I'm a sculptor, you know? He said, can you use this? And I'm like, maybe. So I just like kept it around in my studio for several months, and then I got an idea. So I put a lot of plastic through it. This is all monofilament.
There's some sort of element of like punk rock or rock and roll that's happening here with like your use of color, plus you're like, I'm just gonna carve into this and make something with it.
I think so, because I've been in a lot of punk bands in my past.
Nice.
So I think like, you know, it's just like the idiosyncrasies of like being in that kind of like, I guess like time, you know? Because like punk rock is very raw and there's no like defining sense of like refining things. Like I don't want to make an object, I just want to more express it. So in my work, I think the process is more important than the actual outcome. You know, because you know, like punk rock is very cathartic, you're getting like your angst out. So I think a lot of that comes from it. You don't really like know what you're gonna do, but I just love the fact and like kind of almost like surprising myself, you know?
How did the pandemic surprise you? Did you, because you said this is the stuff that you ended up making during the pandemic, use paint when you hadn't planned to, like,
Right.
And like, how do you think it's affecting your work?
I mean, honestly, like I was very fortunate. So my job, I work at MoMA and they paid, I'm still getting paid to this day. They were very, you know, good about it, very supportive. It was very nice. It was like a residency almost. And I got a lot of work done. And I was very fortunate.
maybe you can relate to this. I'm kind of like, well, if everyone's having such a hard time, how dare I not get up and work and do the things I love at least?
Exactly, if you're able to.
Has it been helpful to have like the community of people who are living here? Like,
I mean, there's 3 people that live back there, but we've been keeping our distance, just talking through the walls and things like that. Yeah, it's really frustrating.
The pandemic got you down? The eye mask will help.
When I first saw your Instagram, what struck me was just like how much fun you seem to be having.
I mean, I think there's definitely a part of you in your work, you know, that's just inevitable, right? You're making something and you're creating something that has no purpose but to release something. So, yeah, a lot of your work is going to reflect on who you are.
So the Instagram videos, is that like a part of your practice? Like, or you just make them whenever you feel like it?
At Rutgers, it's a very interdisciplinary, school. They don't make you pick if you're a painter, a sculptor, or whatever. So I did a lot of like performance, a lot of video, and all that stuff. Instagram is just so easy, and all the tools that are out there, like on your phone, you can make anything with your phone. Don't think about it and just make whatever you want.
To me, that feels like so contrary, not only to like the idea of a serious painter, but I just left an artist today who was like all about discipline. And they were wonderful artists, but they were discipline.
There's a great joke when like you meet a painter, they're like, oh, I'm a painter, and you look at them and go, oh, I'm an artist, and they get really mad.
I feel like I really love and enjoy, you seem to have, and it's so apparent in your work, this like very optimistic attitude of like, the tools are right here, they're so easy for me to use, why don't I just use them?
Yeah.
And like,
there's no reason like not to make art.
can I ask about where you from originally?
I was born in Seoul, Korea.
Okay.
Came here when I was a baby.
Oh, wow.
Lived in Virginia and then moved my way up to New York.
How early did you know sort of this was your path? Did you stumble across it, or were you like, at 7, I was like, okay, I know this is it?
Well, coming from like an immigrant background, art wasn't encouraged. So I've always liked making art, and I would do it in the house when I was a kid, but I never ever took an art class in high school because it just wasn't encouraged. It was just, you're gonna go to college to be a whatever, moneymaker.
And then when you told your folks, what was that like? Or was
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Because parents really don't want your kids to be an artist. Parents want you to be like safe and make money and things like that. So it's understandable, but you just you have to fight it sometimes.
Can your parents look at any of your work and like enjoy it?
Well, my dad passed, but I'm glad that he passed after he saw my show I had years ago. And he was really getting it,
Oh, that's
My mom
lovely.
totally understands now.
What do you feel it is about this spot and this area? Like, why here of all the places you could go? You've been to Virginia, you've been to Jersey, and there's so many other places you could go. Why in this spot have you been?
Bushwick, I came here when it was like 2002.
Oh, wow.
And this is like where people came because there was nothing here. Not even a store. So meaning that the rent was cheap. So I think all the artists like came over here, because it's a trend. Artists go to like, back in the 70s, they moved to Soho. What happened to Soho,
Blew up,
Yeah, like developers like follow artists, they really do. They look for an artist ton and then they kick them all out.
When I left art school, I came to Brooklyn. I came back to Brooklyn. I'm from here, and I realized, I never left art school. It was like just this like Fantasia.
Yeah.
It was like, Banksy and Space Invader pieces everywhere, and Bedford Open Studios, and it was just like this art mecca, and like,
Right.
and then it started like change into something else.
Back in the day when I first moved here, because it was more sparse and not that many people settled here, one little tag would emphasize the whole city. So you could actually see it growing, But when I first got here, there were no tags or graffiti for a while. It was like very low key, but there was like no stores. Like the Jefferson stop was just like nothing. It wasn't even like residential because this is a strange area where there's no one used to live here. It was just in industry, So after like 6 p.m., it's just nothing. Like I would have to get my beer in Williamsburg, ride the train, and like get off on Jefferson, and then I would like skateboard like home like really fast. Yeah.
Because you were there was
You
nothing.
don't see people, but if you see someone, that doesn't look good, you know? So you just want to be out of there. You don't want to be hanging out outside.
Are there images from either your childhood or from your adulthood, like certain artists or certain influences that flash in your brain a lot, or that you come back to, or that you hold in your heart, or that, you know, you can remember giving you this feeling?
I really can't think of a favorite artist.
Okay.
Right.
Or even, I was thinking even if there was like cartoons or
Oh,
even a
Woody
kind of...
Woodpecker.
Talk about it,
Woody
please.
Woodpecker, man.
Talk about it.
In my work, I love the sense of mischief. Woody Woodpecker was the guy that that I just loved as a kid. And the coyote also. He never gave up, but he would always hurt himself. But he made the most incredible sculptures with all that stuff from Acme. Yeah. So I think, yeah, you're right. I like the coyote.
Yeah, I can see and feel that all this.
You can see a lot of failures here, huh? So I'm always like making it until I catch that roadrunner.
I really love that Dave can have fun and be playful and still take his work very seriously. I love artists who are mischievous. That feels very Brooklyn to me. I also love that Dave is not jaded and that he's grateful to have a good job that supports his work, and he's grateful for another chance every day to skate down these Bushwick streets and chase that roadrunner one more time. He'll catch him.